case pissed me off, like unreal. He has a very strong case, but those are excellent points that you made in terms of how to go at it from the standpoint of innocence as opposed to this is why this cat lied. But in terms of the quid pro quo for prosecutors and witnesses, that's routine. That's routine. And it becomes highly suspicious when the person is denied something, particularly something like extradition or being sent back out the country, back to where they came, and then all of a sudden they have or he actually could have lied on the stand too and said that he was a citizen. So that's a whole nother thing. But that type of stuff happens all the time. So y'all was dealing with a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff, like the details, the minutiae, because that's really where the work is. I think it was somebody over here was dealing with trying to contrast between a child and an adult being involved in the same case. That's like one of my focuses. One of the things you could do, because y'all were talking about, the professor highlighted how we don't really know, nowhere in his narrative did he say X, Y, Z. Well, that's not really necessary, because what you could do as a suggestion, you could actually, when drawing that contrast, you can start with the United States Supreme Court and say what they say about a child, the mind of a child. Somebody mentioned the cerebral cortex being the executive part of the brain, et cetera, et cetera. But the court actually goes into what a child, how a child thinks. You might want to list those things, and it's not necessary for the client to say those things. Even if the client didn't say it, it's not being dishonest, it's not being deceitful. It's simply using, in this particular case, the highest authority in the land, the United States Supreme Court. This is what they say about the difference between a child and an adult. And I think that'll strengthen your situation. That way, even if he doesn't say that, this is how children are, and it's unilateral, it's all children. So I think you can strengthen your argument up with that. A lot of the things that y'all brought up, highlighted, it just gets me pumped up because you just humanizing people that aren't seen as human beings. Sometimes you shouldn't presuppose that people understand. Like if you've been reading the case for 6 months or a year or whatever, you shouldn't presuppose that everybody understands it the way that you understand it. The best way to do it is to take very complex or complicated issues